We are here. We are live, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. We are here today to react to the One Piece 1180 spoilers. We don't have the short summary picture, but we do have a list of some spoilers, chat. How are we doing? I hope everyone's having a wonderful morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. If you guys haven't seen a list of compiled spoilers, it's probably because you guys are not on my Discord server. So you guys should join the Discord. You guys should be able to do the command in chat, !Discord, to join the server. So then you guys can get the earliest spoilers, the earliest chapter link, all that kind of stuff. Chat, how are we doing? God bless each and every one of you. Hope you guys had a nice Easter. Hope you guys had a great Holy Week. Hope you guys are doing good. Let me know what's going on. Update me with your guys' lives, chat. Hope everyone's doing great. God bless all of you. I'm here excited to react to some One Piece. I can't believe it, chat. It has now been like a week, right? A whole week of Emu's reveal. And I really I still can't believe it. I'm really shocked. I'm pumped. Now I'm excited to read One Piece again. You know, like sometimes I have my off days, sometimes I have my off weeks, my off months, but ever since the Emu reveal last chapter, it's just, guys, it has sent a jolt through my body. All right, let me know how you guys feel now that the dust has settled. How do we feel about the Emu reveal? I want to know. Easter has passed since. What do you mean by passed since? I finally I broke my fast. We were fasting for Great Lent at church, of course. And Saturday night we had a buffet. The moms of the church prepared a buffet. So as soon as liturgy ended Saturday, we went straight to a buffet at the church. Sunday, very next day, this past Sunday, we go back to the church for another buffet. And then I had yakiniku yesterday. I got more restaurants lined up. Chat, we are going crazy for the next 50 days. We are celebrating the resurrection of our Lord Christ Jesus, who rose on the third day. God. Speaking about Jesus, chat, what are your guys' thoughts on Don Quixote Trump posting photos like he's Jesus and trying to play the cop-out that he was a doctor? He posted the picture. He thought he was just a doctor. Yeah, we're not bots, bro. We're not going to fall for that garbage. I'm pretty sure the only people that would buy that are the ones that'll buy anything from Trump. You know, like Trump could like grab their child in front of them and they'll cheer on Trump. They'll defend it. No one else is buying into that. Even like a lot of the Muslims. I know like Sneeko. I think Sneeko was critiquing Trump. And bro's Muslim. He's not even Christian. And yeah, you could say, oh, well, Muslims, they respect Jesus. But of course, Christians and Muslims, you know, we look at Christ way differently, you know. Crazy to try to do that and think people will be okay with it. Yeah, it's insane. He actually did that on Orthodox Easter. You know, like a lot of little C Christians, they celebrate Easter early. We Orthodox, we celebrate Easter when it's meant to be celebrated. The Orthodox Sunday, Orthodox Easter, that's when Trump actually made that post. So, because I know like some people, you know, they'll say like, oh, well, pump. Trump made that post right after Easter. It's like, no, he made that on Easter. I guess it's like, this is, you know, the fact that he posted it in general is already garbage, you know, it's already trash. But, you know, it's just like, it's like twisting in the knife when you do that on Orthodox Easter Sunday. Like, that's so garbage. And Trump himself isn't even Christian, so that again that makes it even worse. You know, like I think a Christian cosplaying as Jesus, trying to make it seem like they're God, like they're Christ, I think that's already kind of like weird. It's like strange. But if you're not Christian, then that just feels kind of like, first of all, that's narcissistic as hell. That's so egotistical. It's like, bro, this guy is awful. But chat, anyways, how are we doing, guys? I hope everyone is having a phenomenal Tuesday. And to think that his father worked for Germany and contributed to the construction of the social housing. I didn't know that. I know that his dad had like a bunch of money and influence, but he's just doing the Antichrist checklist. Yeah, he's speed running the Antichrist checklist. Yeah. He's Jewish on his father's side, and don't forget this guy acted in Back to the Future with contacts like Robert Zemeckis. Who's Robert Zemeckis? I don't know who that is. And Spielberg. Yeah, Trump also is like very proud of his daughter. Didn't his daughter convert to Judaism? Like that should instantly let you know that this guy's a total whack job. Like who even, it's so obvious. Like if you have some money and influence and you convert to Judaism, it is so obvious what's going on. You know, like the only kind of people that would be like, yeah, you know what, I'm gonna become Jewish, I'm gonna get into Judaism, are the ones that are definitely opposing Christ. I mean, the Talmud openly blasphemes. I'm fasting from marijuana and cigarettes 1 month and keep going. Give power, guys. Yo, congrats, Nomad. God bless, man. You could do it. This is a new you. It is a new you. It is a new journey. You always have the opportunity. As long as you wake up in the morning, as long as your heart is beating, you have an opportunity to grow, expand, be healthier, stronger. We're cheering for you, bro. He became more religious after his near-death experience. So either he's rage baiting Pope Leo or his mental faculties are starting to fail him. Well, I think this would be an awful rage bait. How would you be Christian and like, yeah, I'm going to rage bait. As a Christian, I'm going to rage bait other Christians, right? As Jesus. Like, that's just so stupid. And you know what? Another thing, I don't want to go on and on and on and on and on about Trump. You know what? You guys know on this channel, we all talk about whatever. We talk about whatever comes to mind. But one thing I'll say, right? Last thing I'll say is that, actually, I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe that's a sign to start talking about the spoilers. I've actually forgot what I was going to say. The chat, without further ado, let's read the current chapter 1180 spoilers. I don't have my stream deck right now, guys. So there's no buzzers, there's no horns, there's no cheering, there's no for L. God bless you, bro. Hope you had a great Easter, L. Let's get it, chat. All confirmed spoilers so far. Shout out to my boy King J for posting the spoilers, aka Saint Nerona Emu. Oh, dude, look what just popped up. Mutual friends between me and King J. Tiante. Oh, bro. Oh, Testing 2 3 testing. I'm gonna blow my brains out, chat. I'm gonna end myself. This, guys, the mic should be working now. It's gonna last probably 2 minutes, and then it's gonna unplug for 10 minutes again. So read chat, you laboon. Yo, why all the streamer mics going out recently? I don't know, dude. G Bear, God bless, bro. Are these legit? No, they're fake. I've seen the entire Japanese issue. Y'all have no idea how fire this chapter is. Really? What do you think about the Gospels having different narratives about Christ? It's not in a contradictory way. Like me and you, we could walk into the store and I can say like, oh, I saw one dude in a blue shirt, man. And I was actually at the store. And you could have been in the store with me and you're like, oh, bro, yo, J-Bro, I saw 2 people in blue shirts. Like, it could have been 2 people, but I saw 1 and you saw 2, right? There's a lot of factors that go into it. Maybe I was very erratic. Maybe I had blurry vision. I don't know. But I don't think it's like something, I don't think it's detrimental. I think there's other things worth critiquing. Or I guess other things worth questioning. The events are very different too. No, I don't think so personally, but I mean, we got to get through the spoilers before we start debating the resurrection right now. Okay, as I was trying to do before this mic cut out per usual. Without further ado, all confirmed spoilers so far. Zoro attacks Emu. No damage. Emu blocks with his tail. Zoro and team gets taken out using black smoke like ability. Black smoke. Is this gonna be a Blackbeard upscale? Because Blackbeard has like the black abyss stuff. Zoro is still conscious after taking a named attack. Yo. Only Zoro is taking a named attack from Emu. A named attack from the strongest character in the entire story. Oh, bro, come on. You should know Blackbeard is the strongest character, dude. Blackbeard's the strongest. Blackbeard's the final villain, dude. Yeah, that's exactly why Blackbeard struggled against Law and Beppo. Meanwhile, we have Emu blitzing Zoro. Look how the leaker said Zoro is still conscious after taking a named attack. Because you know why? They're saying that in the sense of Emu's so powerful, it's a miracle that Zoro's even conscious. That's the kind of vibe they're going for. I don't think the leakers are trying to imply that like Emu's attack was so garbage that Zoro is still conscious. I think it's more of a, Zoro has immense durability. Zoro has immense, defense. I think that's the kind of vibe they're going for. Zoro didn't use KOH, King of Hell, or Ashra. Sanji and gang joins. They get one tapped as well. Exactly. Blackbeard, as far as we know, didn't even one tap Law. You guys remember that? Blackbeard, after the fight with Law, which, by the way, Blackbeard went against who? Law and Beppo? And then Blackbeard, didn't he have Van Augur with him? He had, did he have Alvaro Pizarro? This dude, Blackbeard, had like multiple gang members with him. By the time he's finally defeating Law, he's panting, he's bleeding. So Blackbeard is like Law level. Emu is speed blitzing Zoro, speed blitzing Sanji, one tapping Sanji. Sanji used Ifrit Jambe. Emu can use black flame on his legs while kicking. A character lost their fingers. It's not Emu. Yo, guys, any guesses as to who it was that lost their fingers? Big Mo, God bless, bro. I'm glad to catch up, but we need to catch up more. Hey, Mo, who do you think it was that lost their fingers? Chat, I want to know What are your guys' guesses? What are your guys' predictions? Who lost their fingers? Is it Sanji? Is he going to struggle to cook? He can't cook anymore. Sanji's going to have to cook with his legs and feet. Yo, Eli, what's good, bro? God bless. Probably going to be Frankie so he can get them back. Wait, Frankie lost his fingers? I feel like the person that lost their fingers is fighting Emu. I don't think Frankie is fighting Emu. I mean, I guess Frankie could have lost his fingers in a different situation, but when you read these spoilers, don't you get the vibe that the character losing their fingers is related to the Emu fight? So like Zoro, Sanji. Bro, Zoro can't afford to lose his fingers because he wields swords, man. Sanji just kicks. I really hope the final villain isn't a fat drunkard like Blackbeard. Nah, I wouldn't call him a fat drunkard. I don't really think he's like a drunk kind of guy. Blackbeard is an awesome character. He's a great villain, but yeah. Kettingham and Summers are called back. Okay, so Kettingham and Summers have fled. So now who are the enemies? Who are the what's the word I'm looking for? Who are the antagonists on Elbaf? Is it just Emu and Gunko? Because Shamrock went to Marijoa way before. Is it just Emu and Gunko right now? Loki, Luffy, and Ragnar join the fight against Emu. Ragnar freezes Emu. Emu breaks the ice. Spoilers. Summers, Kettingham, and a certain someone is back. Back? Who could have came back? Fun fact, Emu showed up exactly 1,000 chapters after Crocodile neg-diffed Luffy. Emu neg-diffed the Straw Hats exactly 1,000 chapters after Robin saved Luffy's life from Crocodile. Last week, we saw Emu asking for Vivi. This panel was seen exactly 1,000 chapters ago. That's actually wild. Anyway, the most important thing is to get rid of the princess. Wow. This is some Emu vibes. Yo, if you look in this... Hey, King J, if you look at this panel right now, you would probably think, oh, is that a recent panel? Is that like from Emu? That's crazy. Wait, who's this? JD Rich. Wait, King J, is this channel open to everyone? Who's JD Rich? Who is this? JD Rich. How's this dude talking in here? What the... Bro. Also, wasn't there a... I thought I saw a spoiler that the leakers were saying the person that came back isn't Shamrock, which confuses me because then who the hell is it? Yo, Mo's in the chat. Yo, new spoilers is open. No way. It's a public channel. You guys want to talk in the new spoilers channel? Yo, Mets, what's good, bro? What's up, man? Emu wields Bluetooth like a power. Look at his arms and you'll see that Bluetooth is linked to King Harold. Bluetooth? What are you talking about, Bluetooth? What do you mean he's wielding Bluetooth? Jabril. Big Jabril. I'm going to give one massive spoiler, but let y'all figure out what I mean. Domi Reversi only works on those without a devil fruit. Yo, you are not a leaker, man. Like, guys, can we just be honest? We've been saying this for years. We're going to be honest and continue to say it. This whole idea of, yeah, I know what the newest chapter is, but I'm going to give you the spoilers in a riddle is so stupid. Do you know Metron's cube? Metron's cube. I think the One Piece could be Metron's cube. What the hell is that? Metron's cube. Oh, you meant to say Metatron. Metatron's cube. Metatron's cube is a powerful sacred geometry symbol representing the underlying mathematical order of the universe, composed of 13 equal circles with lines extending from the center. So is this a shape? Now, there's a certain someone who's been hiding for years. Don't even know if it's a he or she. Next emu, for real. Yo, I actually can't believe this. Yo, who's up to date? Who's up to date with Tiante, chat? Someone should invite him to the stream right now. Invite him to the chat, guys. Invite Tiante to the stream chat. I want to have a talk with him. Would Big Moose Morgans release Emu's photo? That would be insane. I don't know. I don't know if that's what would happen. Maybe it would, maybe it wouldn't. I don't know. Emu copied Itachi's whole flow, word for word, bar for bar. No, he didn't. Come on, man. Why? Because Emu has black smoke? How's that copying Itachi? Itachi doesn't even have white hair. He doesn't have horns. He doesn't have like the face tattoos, the hand tattoos. He doesn't turn into like a gigantic monster with a devil's tail and stab Sabo. Lasagna Muncher. Hi, Evil. How have you been? Haven't been here in a while. Yo, God bless, man. Welcome back. The fact that Emu is a technology of the future is linked to Atlas. You say the fact. Testing. Test. Test. I don't know what to do. It's not going. Hello, chat. So ridiculous, bro. This just makes me like want to be offline. Dude, you're muted. Thanks, man. I didn't realize that. Mute, no me strikes again. We'll get full briefs. Okay, let's see how much of this is real. King J, I put you on the spot. I put you on the spot, King J. Because if these spoilers are fake, despite you saying confirmed, everyone is going to rage at you. And me. You clickbaited, man. You lied about the spoilers, bro. You ruined my life, man. Final, just spoil it. Entire crew besides Devil Fruit users get Domi reversied. What is your source? Me. I am the source. Maybe tapping the mic to the PC would help, or taping the mic. It's the USB port. I'm pretty sure. I hope it's not the mic or the interface itself. Real? No, it's fake. It's fake. I know it says confirmed, but it's fake. Are you being bugged? I might be. I might know too much. I don't know. I might know too much. They're trying to silence me. Did you watch the first episode of Elbaf? I haven't watched a One Piece episode. I don't even know last time. Maybe like an A-Kid episode or something. I don't watch it. I want to read the newest chapters. Additional info. Dr. Gerd lost her fingers when Emu saved Summers from her hand. Really, Gerd? Bro, I was hoping it was Sanji, man. I don't be active on Discord much, but I might start chatting more, King J. You should. Do you think Emu silhouette form will return? Probably not. I don't see the point. Because the... Thing's so stupid, bro. Hello? Yo, what's up, Virgo? Oda's dismembering the giants left and right. The Hyrudan losing an eye to represent Odin theory could happen. I'm late. Are these actual spoilers? Yes, they've completely fallen for Nami and her breasts. Press our F in the chat for Gerd. Dude, we don't care about Gerd, man. Gerd sucks. Yo, Crowcox, welcome back. My Jewish friend sees nothing wrong with how the world government functions in One Piece. Of course, dude. Mute, no me. Mode silence, God. I think someone in the community ratted you out to a higher ups. Yeah, maybe. I've been talking about the Celestials for too long. Anyone thinking that Blackbeard will destroy Marijoa? I mean, what does that have to do with the One Piece? Doesn't Blackbeard want the One Piece? I mean, Luffy has 3 road poneglyphs. I don't think there's time for detours. Doesn't Blackbeard want the One Piece? Why is he in Marijoa? The last poneglyph? You think the last... Okay, so now you get into the realm of, hey, check out my 8 theories, because then maybe the 9th theory will be correct. See, now you're in like you're in like OD speculation mode, because now for Blackbeard to be destroying Marijoa, I have to believe that the last poneglyph is in Marijoa in the first place. You see? So you would end up having like theory 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then, hey, what do you think about this idea? And for me, that's how I see theories. That's how I see One Piece. That's how my brain works. Because, you know, you also then have to argue why the man with the burn scar is in Marijoa, which is a whole different theory, you know? So you have to say that the burn scar man is, I don't know, like, here's why the burn scar man is Shamrock. And now here's why the poneglyph is in Marijoa. And then here's why Blackbeard knows it's in Marijoa. And then here's why Blackbeard's going to Marijoa. You see? You end up needing like way too many variables, basically. What I think what's his name? Occam, how he would explain this is he would say that this is a conclusion that hold on, let me share my screen. This is a conclusion that has too many entities. That's how he would describe it. Have you seen Occam before? Do you know William of Occam? That's how he would explain it. He would say that, you know, someone might say, I don't know, just find like a One Piece theory, right? Well, your One Piece, not you, Mets, just in general. He would say, you, if we're trying to find, if our goal is the truth, right? That's our goal, the truth. We don't even necessarily care what the truth is. We just want to know what the truth is. We want to know what reality is. I don't really care what reality is. Whether reality is that the sky is blue, green, orange, red, I don't care what it is. I just want to know what reality is. We got to come up with rules and guidelines as to what the best conclusion is. Rules and guidelines on sufficient reasoning and stuff like that, right? He would argue that if a proposition or if a syllogism requires too many ifs, it requires too many entities, that this actually raises the chance of there being a error, right? That's how you get Occam's razor, where, quote unquote, the simplest answer is the better option to go to. If you have 2 conclusions, right, and they both are strong, he would argue that that there's actually a stronger one, and it's the one that has less entities, because there's less room for error. You know, you basically, because if you have like a One Piece theory and it requires like 10 other theories, then at minimum you have like 10 check boxes that you need to hit. Versus, let's say you have a One Piece theory, and there's only like, I don't know, like 3 check boxes. You have a much easier chance of accomplishing the first one, given that it's not absurd in the first place. We're talking about 2, you know, theories that have like some type of reasoning. You know, I'm not arguing that you can have a very, very bad argument, and as long as it's simple, that it's true. That's not the argument. We're talking about strong, sound arguments. But anyways, Occam's razor, resurrection is a myth. Do you think Redon's winged shadow figure hint refers to Emu flexing his wings this chapter? Emu no diffing the wings of the future Pirate King, or a certain someone who is back? I don't know who the character could be that's coming back, man. By the way, Evil, I miss your video theories. Thanks, bro. We'll come back eventually. Either that or he's planning to do what his father couldn't and burn the Holy Land. Well, my question is, when does Laugh Tale come into the picture? That's my question, because Luffy is one poneglyph away from Laugh Tale. Doesn't every One Piece fan think Luffy and Blackbeard are fighting for the One Piece? So Laugh Tale must be very close, right? Like, for all we know, Luffy could get the fourth road poneglyph this arc. That means he has 4. That means he goes to Laugh Tale. So is Blackbeard not going for the One Piece? Because supposedly he's like on Marijoa. You do realize Marijoa is almost on the opposite side of the planet from the end of the New World, and it's highly implied that Laugh Tale is at the end of the New World. You see, like there's a fatal flaw there. There's a quite fatal flaw. And, you know, just to remind you, right? Just to remind you of my position, I don't even care what the answer is. I don't care about the conclusion. I don't care who's the final villain. I don't care who has the road poneglyph. I don't care what the One Piece is. I don't care about anything. My whole goal is what is the reality? What is the truth? I want to figure it out. What makes the most sense, and I'm gonna put it forward, right? I'm gonna get that conclusion. I'm gonna find that idea, right? And I'm gonna give it to you guys, or I'm gonna give it to the friends, or I'm just gonna talk about it. So, you know, when we want someone to be the final villain, or we want the One Piece to be a certain item, you end up having like this really foggy view. You can't see things clearly, you know? So I could care less about or I couldn't care less about whether or not Blackbeard or Emu are the final villain. I mean, it doesn't really, like, bro, I'm still going to sleep tonight, right? I'm still going to be waking up tomorrow, hopefully, right? It doesn't really matter to me. But if you ask me, it makes way more sense that it's Emu being the final villain. You know, if we talk about Blackbeard, I think Laugh Tale needs to be on his radar right now. You know, we know that Dragon is the one that has this grand he has this grand conflict with the One Piece world government. We even saw how recently the Revolutionary Army were cutting off the food supplies to Marijoa. Now, after that happens, like one arc later, from the Revs cutting off the food supplies, one arc later, now Marijoa is on fire. It seems like to me the Revs are they have a much higher chance of being the ones in the most recent conflict of Marijoa. They have a much more likely chance than Blackbeard, right? And whether it's Blackbeard or the Revs, it doesn't really matter to me. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, maybe it would be cool to see Blackbeard use like a Black Abyss on the Holy Land or whatever. Maybe that'd be cool. I mean, sure. But, you know, just because something is cool doesn't really mean anything. That's just an emotional appeal, you know? And this is the exact kind of thing that I would tell, you know, other Christians, right? You know, because maybe another Christian, they would tell me like, oh, well, Christianity must be true because I'm a very happy person. It's made me so happy. But I would tell them, like, yeah, I believe Jesus is God. I believe he resurrected, right? I spent a lot of time considering that years ago. But saying that, oh well, it makes me happy, that's not a reason for any, it doesn't mean anything. That's just a fallacy. That's an emotional appeal. Just because something makes you happy doesn't mean anything. I could say the math equation 1 + 1 = purple makes me happy. Clearly that's nonsense, right? It doesn't matter if that equation makes me happy. That doesn't make it any more true, right? So in the same way that someone could say, like, ever since I started having a mere intellectual assent about God, it's made me so much happier. I don't think that really proves anything. So in the same way, when I hear like a One Piece theory, right? You'll see some people, they'll be like, yo, like, check out my theory, like this would be so cool. And maybe they're just saying it, just off the cuff. Maybe it's not necessarily an argument. Maybe they just genuinely think it'd be cool. And there's nothing wrong with that. Like, you could think something is cool, but thinking something would be cool for the story, that doesn't mean anything. That's just an emotional appeal. That's just your opinion. Oda doesn't really care what you think would be cool or not. In the same way, King J, someone can tell you, oh, King J, there's no way your theory could be correct because that would be boring. Again, an emotional appeal. Oda doesn't care what you think. Oda doesn't even know you exist, right? So arguing against an idea, or arguing on like about facts and logic and trying to have sound reasoning and stuff like that, and mentioning like, oh, it would be cool, oh, it'd be boring, oh, it would be sad, like, that doesn't mean anything. I hope you guys understand the point I'm trying to make. King J with the 200. Thank you, brother. God bless your soul, man. It's confirmed that Shamrock neutralized the threat in Marijoa. I don't know why Blackbeard fans and Dragon fans are fighting over who got negged by Shamrock. But it was just a Celestial Dragon riot in Marijoa. Yeah, and that's another option. I forgot about that. I mean, right now, I was saying that I think Dragon and the Revs make more sense than the Blackbeard Pirates attacking Marijoa. But we did recently talk about a Celestial Dragon riot, King J. Do you remember that last stream? I actually totally agree with that. I forgot we talked about that. But I find that to be more likely than even the Revs attacking, right? And people always want to say, oh, well, Dragon, he's very strategic. The reason why Dragon doesn't go out and Dragon doesn't want to fight people, he has to do things really strategic. Okay, well, wouldn't it be quite strategic to starve your enemy? And now your enemy is having like a civil war. Your enemy is fighting amongst itself or fighting amongst themselves. You don't even have to do anything. People have done this in real life for thousands of years. So it doesn't even have to be that the Revs are launching a war. And it makes a lot of sense that these guys, the Celestial Dragons, would start going bonkers. God bless Nomad. Start going bonkers because they're being starved. Right? Now, what makes more sense, chat? This or Blackbeard found out that the man marked by flames is actually in Marijoa, and he man marked by flames, then put the poneglyph in Marijoa, and then Blackbeard also found out that the poneglyph was in Marijoa. Like, you see how the first one requires hardly any entities, whereas the latter, you need like 4 other theories. And I don't mean to say this in a rude way, chat. No one get offended. Please don't get angry. Please don't feel like I'm bullying you or whatever. We're all here to just seek the truth. We're all debating. We're all having fun. Don't take it personal, chat. A lot of you guys don't even like my theories. It's not that deep, okay? So I think, Blackbeard, he needs to be hunting for some poneglyphs right now. I think that should be something very high on his priority, especially with the recent speech we got from Vegapunk. Did Vegapunk not just say that everyone's racing to the One Piece? Luffy's racing to the One Piece. Blackbeard's racing. The Marines are racing to the One Piece. Everyone's racing to the One Piece. Why is Blackbeard doing a detour and going to Marijoa? Now, if you guys believe that theory, if you guys genuinely do believe Blackbeard's going to Marijoa, don't be offended. I don't mean to insult you. I'm trying to say this in a respectful way. Please don't be angry with me. All of you guys are amazing people. You guys are sweet people, right? I'm just going after the ideas for what they are, all right? Thank you so much, King J. That's a great point. It's Celestial Dragon Riot. Jeffrey Vegas with the 2. Thank you so much, brother. Luffy versus Zoro. Sanji versus Loki. Dude, what? Sanji is dying if that happened. Sanji would die. I'm not even going to lie. If Sanji fought Loki, Sanji would die. Because I don't know, man. Nowadays, I'm having Loki up there near Luffy. So if Loki fought Sanji, Sanji would die. It would have to be that Sanji got Domi reversied. Loki kills Sanji, and then he undomi reversies. You know what I mean? Like if someone's Domi reversied and they get killed, they go back to their normal state. The obvious point needs to be, thank you so much, brother. The obvious point needs to be reiterated. It's not simply that 1 + 1 = 2, but rather that this is the case. We need to understand why this result exists. Don't fall into the trap, I'm right, you're wrong. Well, that's not always a trap. I think we need to all have accountability and realize that sometimes we're wrong about something. And sometimes our interlocutor is right. If we don't ever reach the basis of I'm wrong and they're right, or I'm right and they're wrong, we could never have a foundation on the truth. Like, imagine math. Imagine mathematicians. If everyone was just, quote, open-minded, we would never be able to erect buildings. We wouldn't be able to make highways and train tracks and skyscrapers and bridges. You need to be cemented in the truth. Now, of course, maybe sometimes us as humans, maybe we are very cemented in something that's not true. But see, that's my whole point. We need to be cemented in the truth, right? If we're so open-minded that our brain falls out, we could never. We're building our house on the sand, basically. We wouldn't be building our house on a rock. And when the waves come by, we're going to be swept right away. King J 40, thank you so much, brother. God bless. Sanji versus Domi Loki. When base Loki one-tap Sanji. Wait, Sanji versus Domi Loki. Okay, yeah, Sanji's dying in that way as well. Sanji's dying whether it's him or Loki being Domi reversied. There's no way Sanji would defeat Domi reversied Loki. That's literally just a death sentence. That is literally a death sentence. Sanji loses a Ragnar. Yo, unironically, I actually agree. Oda watches a lot of theories and has participated in several Japanese YouTubers. This guy, it's quite influential. Let's see what's happening. It don't matter who the final villain is. Emu is clearly the main villain. He's been the villain for centuries. Yeah, I totally agree. I totally agree, brother. I agree 100%. The plot wouldn't even exist if Emu wasn't a character. You could literally, King J, right? Am I right or wrong? Could you not take Blackbeard out of the story and hardly anything changes? Like the story's mainly the same, minus Marineford. But if you take Emu out the story, it's completely different. Is that not true? It's obviously true, because there would be no One Piece world government superpower if it wasn't for Emu. And that is the sole reason that there's these poneglyphs, and there's a One Piece treasure, and there's Laugh Tale, and there's secret gods, and there's a Nika, and Joy Boy's coming back, and Davy Jones is erased. Like, the Emu is at the heart. He's at the crux of the story. Oh, but Blackbeard, he's going to become very strong. Okay, but Emu's already very strong. Okay, so what's your point? Like, Emu has been top one for the past 900 years, dude. Emu took out Joy Boy, did he not? Oh, but I have a theory as to why Emu used schemes to take down Joy Boy. Okay, so you have a theory to prove another theory? You see? You see, King J? This is how you get him, bro. This is how you get him. So now you gotta show me a whole theory about why Emu used scummy tactics to take down Joy Boy, so that you can then prove another theory, a whole separate theory, as to why Blackbeard is gonna be stronger than Emu. You see? Yo, King J, I need you to buy. Can you buy into my theory number 10? All you got to do is buy through theories 1 through 9. And then theory 10 is so obvious, dude. That's what like a lot of the Blackbeard stuff has become. I'm not even gonna lie. If you guys are paying close attention, if you guys are, analyzing the theories and the takes nowadays regarding Blackbeard, there's a whole bunch of that going on. We us as a community, us as humans, right? Us as One Piece fans, we get so caught up in these theories that eventually it just becomes canon, and then we build another theory from there, you see? Without realizing that this headcanon we have is a theory in the first place. So then you end up stacking a tower of theories. You got a whole tower of 10 different theories, because in your head, theories 1 through 5 are so obvious, and that like you've been in love with these theories for so many years, you don't even remember that it's a theory anymore. You see? And then this causes a lot of issues amongst One Piece discussions. Do you think there's only one living specimen for each race Emu has? What do you mean by each race Emu has? What does that mean? That's an interesting question, but I don't know what you mean by that. JR Writer with the 5. Thank you so much, brother. God bless, man. I think Emu needs to kill someone to feel like a threat. Maybe Yarul. Who could you see actually dying here? Yo, thank you so much, bro. Hey, I was saying like a while back, JR Writer, I don't know if you remember, I was thinking that Scopper Gabon is going to get knocked off. This was before the whole Emu stuff. I was thinking Scopper Gabon is going to get killed off this arc. And Rayleigh would be the living, I guess, Crocus. Rayleigh and Crocus would be like those last guys surviving. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, I have it right here. Hold on, let me share my screen. Yo, check this out. Check this out. If Emu kills someone to come off as a threat, maybe he would kill Scopper Gabon. Yo, check this out. Look, I put this on our bingo card at the beginning of the year. You guys remember when we did the bingo card? You guys remember the 2026 bingo card? Scopper Gabon dies. I put that on my bingo card. Wait, did I not put Emu is revealed on this? Yo, I didn't even put Emu's reveal on the bingo card. You know why? Yo, I didn't put Emu is revealed on the bingo card because I was like, dude, we're going to need another 20 years of One Piece before that happens. Are you kidding me? I think on the 2025 bingo card, I did put Emu is revealed. Oh my gosh. That is so sad. Hold on. Where was my 2025 bingo card? I hope that answers your question. I think Emu could kill someone like Scopper Gabon. He could be like a dead Roger Pirate, you know. I actually, well, my whole remember. I had like a whole reasoning, like a whole argument behind Scopper Gabon dying. I don't remember what it was. I think that among all the One Piece theories since Oda's creation, he must have drawn inspiration from them for his manga without consciously intending it and is simply building upon his manga. Yeah, maybe. But I think, didn't Oda say one time that he tries to read theories to avoid using them? If Scopper dies, was Scopper saying, come see him if Elbaf is safe after releasing Loki a death flag in hindsight? I'm kind of confused with your question, bro. You had it for last year's? Yeah, for the 2025 bingo card, I had Emu is revealed. It didn't happen. So when we did the 2026 bingo card, I didn't bother putting Emu is revealed. I didn't bother. Now, what do you think happens? Oh, Emu is revealed. You know, it's going to be the same thing with Dragon. Every arc, people are like, yo, Dragon's going to show up. Dragon's going to show up. Yo, Dragon's going to show up. When we give up on that, Dragon's going to show up. Man, Dragon had the prime opportunity last arc in Egghead. That was such a perfect opportunity. You even had Shaka literally call Dragon. Yo, the world government's coming after us. They're coming after Vegapunk. We're literally gonna die. Dragon doesn't even show up. Dude, Dragon was probably like ... and hung up. He probably literally just sat there in silence and hung up on Shaka. And then Vegapunk died. King J with the 40. Thank you so much, brother. God bless you, man. If I write One Piece, Emu kills Sanji during his intro. Yo, you guys think I hate Sanji? I want you guys to start paying attention to King J. I've never said something that wild before. You guys think I hate... Oh, you're such a Sanji hater, bro. It's because you're a Zoro meat rider. Yo, have you ever seen King J talk about Sanji before? This dude, King J, is devious. He's preying on Sanji's downfall. He pretty much... Yo... King J pretty much wishes Sanji never joined the crew. I mean, you're literally... You wished that Sanji died in his intro. Yo, B-Dog, God bless, bro. Emu looks like Smokey's grinder day. Dude, what? Why do you hate him so much? Because he cooks, bro. I could see Emu sliming Dorian Broggy. Just sliming them out. Some theories are so ingrained we take it as canon. Yeah, that's exactly my point. And I think that's kind of dangerous. And no, I don't mean dangerous like, you know, crossing the street without looking both ways. I mean dangerous when we start debating and people are arguing. Oh, you're so dumb. It's so obvious. Like, this is so going to happen. Like, watch, you're going to be wrong. You know, like, discussions, right? People, we all need to question our own presuppositions all the time, chat. Anything you believe in, whether it's One Piece or it's not, question your presuppositions. Why do I believe this one thing? Why? Why? It's very important, chat. It's very important you have all bases covered. It's very important. King J with the hundo. Thank you, bro. God bless you, man. I'll die before letting a woman get hurt. Emu cuts off Gerd's fingers. Sanji says, women can suffer for today. I'll let it slide. Yo, how are Sanji fans ever going to recover? How are Sanji fans ever going to recover? I thought Sanji loved women, or is it only attractive women? Women he's attracted to. Tell us some stuff about your Blackbeard destiny theory, since you're not going to drop it anytime soon. Bro, I was just busy with Holy Week last week, and the week before that, I was dead sick. Hold on, let me look through my notes. I'll give you some of my notes. I'll give you some of my notes about the Blackbeard video, chat. Oh, these notes are very long, dude. My phone's on 1%. Okay, chat. Basically, look, I'm going to speed run what Oda's doing with the Blackbeard Pirates, what Oda's doing with One Piece. Okay? One Piece has philosophical tension in it, okay? One Piece has philosophical tension in it because, as we see through many characters and situations in One Piece, there is this idea of hard determinism, which some characters call fate, and radical will, which a lot of characters in One Piece called freedom. We see characters like the Blackbeard Pirates. They say, oh, well, this was meant to happen. Even Emu is saying it. Loki is saying it. Oh, this was meant to happen. This was supposed to happen. Oh, this was fate. Right? In the world of philosophy, in the domain of philosophy, we would call this determinism. But under strict conditions, we would classify it as hard determinism. Everything is just determined, right? But then on the other hand, we see characters like Roger, we see characters like Dragon, characters like Luffy, that talk about freedom. Like, no, I'm not going to believe in fate. I'm not going to believe in destiny. I'm going to do what I can. I'm going to make actions. I'm going to make choices. I believe in freedom. These guys are pushing something called radical will. Now, this is a philosophical tension that we see in One Piece. What does Oda believe? Does Oda believe we live in a deterministic world? Does Oda not believe in free will? What does Oda believe? What is Oda trying to tell us through One Piece? What about Luffy? Is this all just fated? Is this all just fated? Is Luffy just the chosen one and he was just going to eat the fruit all along and Luffy was just going to take down Emu all along? It's all hard-coded. It's all deterministic. I would argue that with One Piece, Oda's arguing for a type of compatibilism, right? Where Oda does believe, or I guess I could say a synergy, right? Like a compatibility or compatibilism, where, you know, Oda would believe that some things require fate to an extent, right? This idea of fate, it's giving an opportunity, right? It was fate that Luffy would have the Nika fruit, right? But if Luffy doesn't have the will, he cannot activate the fate. He cannot make use of the fate. Okay? This is what Oda, I'm speed running it. I would like to go much deeper in detail with this. I'm reading my notes right here, chat. I got a whole bunch of notes on this. You see? I would like to go much deeper on this. I'll do it soon. But essentially, Oda's trying to have this philosophical battle in One Piece You got characters like Emu, Loki, Blackbeard. No, everything is just fate. Everything's meant to be. This is all destined to happen. Hard determinism. Then you have characters Luffy, Dragon, Roger, etc. No, Clover, Dr. Hiruluk. No, we have freedom. We have choices. We have free will. And there's that tension there. And I think Oda's view of the real world, because Oda's trying to, guys, you got to understand, when you read One Piece, Oda's trying to give you a message. Oda's trying to send a message. This is very normal. Authors do this all the time. Authors make stories. It doesn't matter how goofy it is. It doesn't matter how wacky it is. They want to give a meaning to the reader. They want to give a lesson to the reader. So we have these philosophical ideas, these philosophical views of determinism, of free will, compatibilism in the real world. And Oda's trying to offer insight. He's trying to offer his own view. That's why you see all these different philosophies in One Piece, all these different answers in One Piece. And I think Oda is going to provide solutions. He's going to provide an answer. Just because one character believes in determinism and another character believes in free will doesn't mean that they're both valid. Sometimes truth is mutually exclusive, right? We believe in the law of non-contradiction to make sense of the world. But I'm going to leave it at that. King J with the 40. Thank you so much, brother. All blue is the tears Sanji fans are flooding weekly. And another 40. Like D stream if you love your non-Jewish foreskin. Chat, like D stream. We got 50, 60 viewers. Let's get some likes in the stream. Guys, drop a like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss future streams and content. Habibi, what's good, Adnan? True, I can't wait for Luffy to mention and hate Emu's controlling nature. Yeah, so I think that's something that when you think about, so here's the thing, right? When you think about Luffy and Emu, or Luffy versus Emu, the point I'm trying to make is going to become very obvious. So it should already be obvious to you guys. I'm sure it is to some of you. Luffy, or let's start with Emu. Emu's going to say, everything is fate. Everything's supposed to be. Of course, this happened. It's all destiny. Emu's going to have this deterministic worldview. And Luffy, you know what Luffy's going to say? We all know what Luffy's going to say. Oh, bro, I don't care. I don't care about fate. I don't care about destiny. Shut the hell up. I'm going to do what I want. But wait a second. Wait. Chat, pause on that. Wait a second, though. Did you catch that? Luffy's response to Emu is going to be, yo, Emu, shut up. I don't care about fate. I don't care about destiny. I'm going to do what I want. Do you guys see the picture here? Luffy's going to be arguing for free will. Luffy's going to be arguing for freedom. Luffy's going to be arguing for choices. Whereas Emu is against it. So whether or not Luffy is a philosophical genius, the point is still being illustrated. In fact, you guys should realize I'm not arguing that Luffy is going to, I'm not arguing Luffy's going to grab like a classic pipe. Luffy's going to put on an old man suit, put on his specs, kick back, and start philosophizing, if that's even a word. Luffy's not a philosopher. Luffy's not someone who thinks deeply. That's not my argument. But my argument is that Luffy is obviously coming from a position where he's arguing for free will. Emu's going to be arguing for fate and determinism. Luffy's arguing for free will. And this is going to be a very important theme when it comes to Luffy versus Emu. Just in the same way, Luffy's going to be arguing for freedom, whereas Emu's going to be arguing for slavery, for tyranny, for domination, for control. Are we supposed to ignore the conflict just because Luffy's not a deep thinker? No, of course not. Oda's going to be exploring these ideas. He's going to be exploring these thought battles, these philosophical war zones through Luffy and Emu. And this is going to be at the heart of the story. In fact, I guarantee you the type of stuff that we're going to see between Luffy and Emu are going to be applicable to Luffy, or I'm sorry, to Emu and Joy Boy. Abigna with the 200. Thank you so much, brother. Emu is Epstein. Blackbeard is Palm Beach Pete. That's insane. Palm Beach Pete. Let me pull up a picture of him. Bro looks exactly like Epstein, man. Yo, Palm Beach Pete, he should just get plastic surgery so he doesn't have to look like the worst person ever. Look, guys, look at Palm Beach Pete. Who does he look like? That's insane. Wait. Now that I think about it, the Truman Show location looks like Epstein's Island. I never realized that. I guess he was on an island in Truman Show. I mean, I love that movie, man. Truman Show was a great movie. Wait, what's happening? Why isn't it sharing my screen? Hold on. Truman Show was an awesome movie. Also, there's one specific song from the soundtrack of Truman Show that is great. I don't remember the name of the song, but it's really hype. Yo, so chat, who has watched Project Hail Mary? Who has watched that movie? My wife and I watched it for the second time yesterday. We watched that movie in theaters twice now. First time we watched Project Hail Mary in just a regular theater. Yesterday we watched it at IMAX. It's a pretty cool movie. True King J, or he should at least start wanting to take Emu down by the end of Elbaf. Who, Luffy? True, I can't wait for Luffy to mention. Okay, we read that. Gently you make your table tremble. Like the stream, guys. Like the stream, chat. Everyone like the stream. Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania what? It looks like Epstein Island. I mean, any area with like an ocean or a big river is going to look like the island, I guess. Doesn't look that unique. Emu going to be like, why do you keep making me suffer, Joy Boy? Luffy's like, what boy? Make you suffer? I just met you and you're making my friends suffer. He sure is. Thank you guys so much for the super chats. God bless all of you. If you guys want to go above and beyond, use the stream elements at the top of the stream chat. That way we could get 99% of your support, as opposed to downwards to 30% of your support due to YouTube and Apple. Epstein Island is shaped like Nickelodeon's Splat logo. Yeah, I saw that before. Lucas, God bless, bro. Welcome back. Welcome back. Like the stream, guys. Man, it's so freeing now that, you know, my church, now that we're on the feast, the fast is over. Guys, I can eat whatever I want. I can have meat. I can have milk, eggs, cheese. So Zoro Haki got lost fighting Emu. Aristotle Tika. Aristotle Tika. What's Tika? Is that your name? Aristotle Tika. And man, are you eating good this chapter? Yo, I'm eating good in real life. We're eating good off One Piece. I'm sure you like to have me. I don't know what you're trying to say, boy. I don't know what you're trying to imply, buddy. Yo, King J, where are the brief spoilers, man? You said the brief spoilers. Loki, Ragnar, and Luffy are the only characters who didn't get speed blitzed. Yo, W. Sanji got speed blitzed. Zoro got speed blitzed. Oh, no. Loki, Ragnar, and Luffy. Yo, who would have thought that Ragnar, the squirrel, is like one of the strongest characters in the whole story, man? Like, really? A squirrel, dude. He certainly eats corn at church. What does that mean? I eat corn at church. I eat corn at church. What the hell does that mean? Emu's definitely going to kidnap someone, either Vivi, Robin, or Nami. R.I.P. Nami. R.I.P. Nami. Yeah, I don't actually think that Oda would kill off a Straw Hat prior to Laugh Tale. Next step, you become Amish and ride with a carousel or a stagecoach. Dude, I'm not becoming Amish. I have no plans of doing that. Top 3 guesses for Burn Scar, man. Man, I don't even know, man. Nowadays, I don't know what to think about the Burn Scar, man. I mean, I have that video from a while back where I was arguing that the conflicting details we see about the Burn Scar man that just seem to contradict each other, that seem to be very strange. I was arguing that maybe it's because they're looking at multiple people and it's actually like technically Burn Scar men. Maybe they saw one guy with a burn scar, then they saw a different guy with a ship. They saw a different guy with whirlpools. You know, I explored that idea. I still kind of like that, but I don't know. That might be like it's one of those. If I get the vibe that it's one of those theories that like it makes sense, it's possible, but it doesn't really fit like Oda's writing. It doesn't really seem like something he would do. I feel like when you read One Piece for 1,200 chapters, you kind of get like a vibe of how Oda writes, especially if you reread One Piece, you know? If you read all the way to chapter 1180 and you read through the arcs multiple times and you thought deeply about things, you've seen enough theories, you know, when you've went and soaked in the One Piece for so long, you could kind of catch a vibe of Oda's writing, you know? But at the same time, it's a dangerous way of arguing, you know? You shouldn't really say like, oh, well, this one theory is going to happen because it's Oda's writing style, you know? Hold on, where's the message? Who's that clown in spoilers chat? Okay, it's been a very long time since I've been here. I've read the new chapter. What does anyone want to know? I'll tell anything you can verify me when the chapter drops. Entire crew don't be reversing except Luffy users. Luffy and Zoro. Luffy versus Zoro, Sanji versus Loki, Nami versus Robin. How come they didn't mention that yet? You read some fake leaks. Sanji's dummy reversing, he kicks Loki's butt. I've seen the actual chapter. How? Just remember when it drops, LOL, unless I read an entire AI created chapter. How are you reading the whole chapter? You know, people spend over $1,000 for the early spoilers. How did you get it? Would be cool if it was someone hurt by Emu's flame. Nami's real inspiration is actually Naomi, who gets captured by Jaws in the James Bond film. Well, is Emu Jaws in this situation? Oda doesn't have the balls to kill a Straw Hat before the epilogue. Yeah, I mean, you have the trope and the joke that Oda doesn't kill people off for a reason, right? Arlong? Oh, shoot. You might be right. Emu Hockey Burst is like Shanks. You talking about Film Red? I don't remember Film Red that much, dude. Vincent might be right about Johan. What did Vincent say about Johan? Do Orthodox eat va JJ? Bro, what type of question? Surprise in DMs? Dude, what is this? When you only had one arm and couldn't clean yourself by your own, so the vice captain is in charge of doing it. What the dude? That is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. King J, what? Bro, how is that a surprise? That's a bad surprise. That's a horrible surprise. You ruined my life. You ruined my day. I'm unfriending you. I'm unfriending you. I'm turning my profile picture black, and I'm setting my status to the real ones know. Nami really the One Piece in a two piece, bro. One Piece TCG, God bless, bro. God bless you, King. How's it going, brother? Or sister, I don't know. One Piece TCG, you could be a girl. You know, there's a lot of weirdos in the chat like King J. So you pretend to be a dude. Because, you know, if you say that you're a girl, King J, he hates Sanji for a reason, right? Sanji reminds him of himself. So, you know, it would make sense if you just said you were a guy, because then King J wouldn't start creeping on you like how Sanji would. When in reality, you're a girl. Or it could be an Ivankov situation. Don't try to say you're a dude. Eddie will try to hit. No, apparently Tiante, which I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just joking. Oh, man. Yo, is Tiante going to be able to bounce back? Pause. Eddie swings both ways? Hell no. I won't go. It's been a long time since I used that app. Wait, what app are we talking about? Maybe that's why they don't join VC. Yeah, they don't join VC because of King J, man. That's crazy, bros. Oh my. Tiante White is lurking her for sure. Yo, Tiante White. Do you remember that account? What an insane account. Yo, King J, do you remember Miles? Where's our boy Miles? Yo, Miles was a legend, man. You remember Miles? All right, we're going off topic. We need to stick to One Piece. Why can you not talk about One Piece? You're going on a rant. You're ranting about everything except One Piece. I'm here for One Piece. People here need to hear about the Tiante lore. Oh my gosh. Yo, chat, who here knows Tiante? Who here knows our good friend Tiante who's in the chat all the time? Do you guys know Tiante? Our good friend Tiante who's in the text chat all the time? Hey, he might be watching the stream right now. He might be lurking right now. Tiante is the GOAT? Oh, man. Is Miles the guy you boxed in the... No, that wasn't Miles. No, that wasn't him. That was someone else. Bro, it wasn't an actual fight. It wasn't an actual boxing match. I know what you're referring to, but no, that's not Miles. Monkey D. Luffy 1K. Okay, this chapter is one of the most best and saddest chapters. Wait, what's sad about this chapter? Miles, the one with the silhouetted Zebek profile picture? Yeah. The Rocks D buggy. What Tiante done? Oh, dude. Actually, I don't want to derail the stream. I feel like if I pull up the Tiante stuff, we're going to end up derailing the stream. He clocked you. Clocked is that. Bro, did you guys just see the same thing at the same time? Yo, Eric and L, have we seen the both of them in the same VC? We've never seen the two of them in the same VC. Live stream 1158 is the best on this channel. Wait, what do you mean? Drop the Tiante files. Don't search blame Kai 24. How do you memorize the username? What the hell? I'm not up to date on the Tiante files. I don't live on social media. All right, you guys want to see? You guys want to see what happened with our good friend Tiante, chat? Bro said drop the Tiante files. That's insane. You know, the worst part about this is, like, I try not to go on social media as soon as I wake up, because a lot of times you go on social media as soon as you wake up and it just ruins your day. But I opened Twitter like 20 minutes after waking up, and this is what I saw. Xavier exposed thread 2.0. You guys know Tiante Black. You guys know and love him. He's in the stream chat every once in a while. Tiante. You guys know Tiante Black. Well, we are doing the second thread because the first one didn't do justice and didn't show the full picture. First, let's start with the fact that he has multiple accounts on Twitter, and each one of them is a person he impersonates. Black Tiante Xavier, Britt Debra, his supposed cousin, Ty Steez, his little bro. Let's start with Xavier, Black Tiante Xavier. Xavier impersonated this gay blank named Blame Kai, aka Big Boy Bryce, right? And you see the forum posts here. First, they don't have the same name, so we already know that guy is not Xavier, right? You see his tweets here, the original account right here, but it's Tiante. You see? This is him, right? The original, and this is our good friend Tiante, okay? Him posting Blame Kai pics as his, right? So this is our good friend Tiante. Haven't posted myself in a mad while, but the waves are spinning, right? This is our good friend Tiante. But then this is the original account, Blame Kai 24. Okay. There's much more of him posting the same pictures. He does this repeatedly, right? Tiante again. Which, by the way, read the caption. Daughter gone for the weekend and finally had time to myself. Was a good night out, okay? Even this face check ID website is certain that's the same person, right? You see the video here, it's the same person. Okay. He even got the audacity to post someone else's daughter as his. You see this, chat? This is the Facebook of the original guy that we're talking about, right? Blame Kai 24, the original guy with the daughter, right? And then we have Tiante with the same, bro. More of him posting Big Boy Bryce's daughter, right? You see this? Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there, especially the ones that only focus on creating generational wealth for their children. Blah, 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 blah. He talks about it as if it's real, like it's all stuff in his head. When I had my daughter princess, continue staying in good health. My daughter have generational wealth. We even got his mugshot, right? Basically, oh, dude, I'm not going to continue going down the thread, but then he's also pretending to be this girl. This is not this is a stolen photo, right? Stolen photo. This is an actual girl, but it's not her running this account. It's a fake. Along with this account. So yeah, quite the stuff here, chat. And I know Tiante, you know, he's in our chat all the time. You guys know him. You guys love him. Tiante, he has a bunch of followers in the One Piece community. It's quite sad. It's quite sad what's going on with this situation. You know, me personally, I think using pictures of another man's daughter, you save those pictures on your phone or your laptop, whatever it is, and then you post those pictures pretending it's your daughter, pretending you're a father, pretending you're her father, is, I don't know, man. That has to be some level of mental illness. And I don't know. It's possible. I don't think it's possible, but I guess it's possible that it actually is Tiante. I didn't show the tweet, but they contacted the original dude, and they asked him, "Yo, is this your Twitter account?" And the original dude said, "No, it's not my account. Report the account." It's quite bad. It's quite bad. In my opinion, you know, Tiante should just record a video or do a stream where the camera's on him. It could be a 30-second video, a 60-second video, a selfie video. Yo, this is me. My Twitter account is Tiante Black Xavier. He uses the camera, right, chat? He's like with his phone like this, right? Selfie. And he turns around, right? So that you can see his Twitter in the background, his Twitter account, right? Move back and forth. Look, this is me and my daughter, right? Look, behind me is my Twitter account, right? And just shut down all allegations. It would only take 60 seconds to do something like that. Record a video like AI isn't a thing. That would be very difficult. People can easily spot AI. It wouldn't be very hard to have a selfie video and you see the Twitter account in the back. I mean, having a perfect AI to do this for Tiante is probably not even possible. There would be some issues. Here are my 5 fingers. You know, he could easily, or even a live stream. Come on, hey, he could come to the channel, guys. Ask Tiante. Ask him if he wants to come on stream. We have open mic all the time. We're not having open mic tonight, but we have open mic all the time. More Tiante lore in my DMs. Thank you so much, brother. God bless, man. Thank you for the support. Super chat. Okay. Tiante lore so far. 1, he pretends to be a black guy to use the N-word. 2, the image he posts literally every day is himself of a black gay porn star. 3, Tiante downloaded 100+ images of that guy's minor 10-year-old daughter and posts it every day saying that it's his daughter. 4, after getting caught by everyone and after the person themselves came out and called him out, Tiante still denied. 5, he pretends to be his own cousin and relatives with pictures of other people from the black community. 6, he still has pictures of that underage girl stored in his device, which he posts every day. 7, The reason why he does this is to chat with underage boys, apparently, from his account and also from his female cousin's account, which is also run by him. Guys, this is like, can you charge my phone, baby? This is just, I'm at a loss for words. And we used to call him our best friend. Guys, there's a lot of things I could say about this. I just, I don't want to be a leech. Guys, I don't like that idea of when, a famous person or a friend or a content creator or an influencer or, I don't want to be that kind of person where when someone like that gets exposed, I hop in on it and I try to farm followers and farm the likes and farm the retweets. I don't want to do anything like that. Maybe I'll talk to people behind the scenes. Like I'll talk to my friends about it just because, we were all friends together. I'm like talking to my friends about our own friends, like updating, like, yo, our homie did X, Y, and Z. Like that's different. I don't want to go because chat, there's a lot of things. I've known Tiante for a number of years. Okay. I've known Tiante way before anyone on Twitter knew Tiante. I've known him for a while. There's a lot that I could say about it, but again, I just don't want to come off like that kind of guy that's like, yeah, now that Tiante is getting exposed, I'm going to get some likes and retweets. I'm going to make a whole bunch of clout by hopping in on this Tiante stuff. Like, that's not my vibe, bro. That's not, I don't do that stuff. But I'll let you guys know. I'll put it this way and I'll leave it at this. After knowing Tiante before anyone on Twitter or YouTube knew about him, I was close friends with him for years. Seeing this whole exposure done on him, it hurts me to say this. It really does, but it makes so much sense. And it's awful to say that. Sometimes in life chat, you find out one of your friends is actually doing some very obscene stuff and it shocks you. But at the same time, you're like, bro, now that explains everything. It's one of those things, basically. It's one of those things. And guys, I apologize. Please forgive me. I'm not trying to be cryptic. I'm not trying to be cryptic and try to be like, oh, you're so mysterious. You're trying to tease us. It's just like, I'm not trying to get caught up and farm attention and slander too hard and gossip. I'm trying to do this in a respectful, mature way. But currently, that's what's happening. And a ton of One Piece fans on Twitter, they're talking about this. This is the beef of the week, right? This is the topic of the week. Oh, man. Anyways, check spoilers chat. Whoa. Hey, if that's real, I can't put that on stream. Remember, I can't put the real stuff on stream. King J, it's not your fault, bro, but remember when I had Roz on the screen one time, I got a strike. I didn't even get a claim. I got a strike. Dude, this is AI, bro. Look at you could instantly tell. Look at the left side of his face. They did, why are they the same exact angle? You guys know that they did AI for the Raws last week? They did AI Raws last week, and they did AI Raws like a week ago. I'm not going to say who. I'm going to be a mature person. I'm mature. I'm not going to say who, but I was telling a certain person, yo, you do know that people can use AI to make fake Raws, right? And they didn't believe me. Bro, like a month ago, someone used Gemini AI or something, and they made like a photo with AI that looked like a picture of the Shonen Jump magazine Raws. That's how advanced some of this AI is. It literally looked like someone took a picture of the Shonen Jump magazine, You know, the black and white raws where you could see the magazine? You literally would have thought, oh, those are the raws. Look, someone took a picture of the magazine. Oh, look, these are the raws. You would literally think that, and it was AI. And the past 2 chapters have been released. None of those pages and panels from this AI were in the chapters. So, yeah, it's pretty insane. Tiante is a glowy. He's been keeping an eye on you for the big Yahoo. Eddie, who sincerely considers your true friends? Who here considers Eddie, who here sincerely considers your true friend? Do you mean who do I consider my true friends? Is that what you're trying to ask? Because if I take what you're saying literally, you're asking me who out there is considering my friends. But I think what you're trying to ask me is who do I consider my true friends? Well, all the whole chat, you guys are friends. We're all friends here. I don't want to pick out my closest friends because, you know, people will be offended if I don't name them. But definitely my wife, right? Dawn of Ascension. King J, of course. I've known King J since I got into One Piece. L, I would say. Smokey. I would say Mojestic. I would say I mean, the whole chat, right? I don't really want to pick out only some of you guys. Evil Snubby, if you guys know him, EVOLSNUBBY. That's one of my closest friends. He's a great guy. He's in the Oriental Orthodox Church, so you know he's based. And he has good geopolitical takes. What more can you ask for? Someone in the Oriental Orthodox Church, someone who's Orthodox and they're based geopolitically. Oh, come on. That's like the ultimate breed. That right there is me, my wife, Evil Snubby. I don't know too many people that are OO. Wow. You did not mention me, even though we lived together for bro, Axelrod. Shut the. What are you going on about, dude? You forgot your old friend Tiante? Oh man. Tiante, bro. I'm dropping you. I'm sorry. Tiante, if you're watching this, VOD, if you're lurking, I'm sorry, bro. You gotta prove your innocence because the evidence against you is insane right now. Right now, the evidence is winning. You gotta figure out a way to. You can't just like, bros, they lying, bros. Bro, all phoneme, they lying, bro. Like, yo, that's not a defense. That's not a response. You have to have some type of argument. Show why the person they're texting didn't actually respond, or the person that they're texting, maybe that account doesn't even exist. They guys, they also found Tiante's supposed business, right? And they also said it was a fake account. Like, you can't just your whole defense can't just be they lying on me, bros. They hating, dog. Like it's not a response, dude. Or you know what you do? Maybe this is what Tiante is doing. You know, he learns from the best. You just ignore it. You just don't even care. That's what you got to do. You just ignore it. Just literally ignore it. Like people try to go and make posts about me. One Piece YouTuber 3ville is antiseptic. You know what the trick is? You just don't even care. Yo, chat, that's the meta right there. Just don't care. Just don't even bother. One Piece YouTuber 3ville stole a One Piece Reddit thread from 7 years ago. All right, sure, bud. I like how Evil is doing a deep voice for Tiante. Man, Tiante probably obese guy living in his mom's garage. Bro, Again, I can't say certain things on stream, but it all clicks, dude. It all clicks. He probably hates himself too much to be doing this, which is kind of sad. Yeah, but this required him to save photos of a 5-year-old. How old is the girl? Like the supposed daughter? I think someone said she's a 10-year-old. This required him to save pictures of a 10-year-old and post them. Like, dude, that has to be against some type of law. He's going to be put on like a watch list, dude. Yo, he's going to be on FBI Most Wanted. They're going to put out a wanted poster of Tiante. Yo, someone make a Tiante wanted poster. What's this dude's bounty going to be? You got to put a, you know what's funny? You got to put like a silhouette there because we don't even know what he looks like. Bro, I'm just asking because it's scary how the internet exposes who's lying. Yeah. The internet's undefeated, man. If you're lying, you will be caught sooner or later. Chat, just like how I'm lying. Guys, what you are seeing right now is actually AI. I'm actually like a super obese white boy. But what you guys are seeing, it's been edited through AI, okay? That's why sometimes when you guys look at me, I have 6 fingers. I have 6 fingers on my hand. It's the AI tripping out. I'm actually a white girl. I also have an AI voice changer. And I'm a Sanji fan. Leaked cover art from One Piece Raw. Yo, chat, look at the new Raws. The new Raws are out. Chapter 1104. We went back. We went backwards. We went back like 76 chapters. Oh, yo, if I was a One Piece character, I would be Dragon. Yo, if I was a One Piece character, I'd be Dragon. Yo, why does that actually look like me? Yo, that is crazy. That actually looks like me. Yo, this looks more like me than my own profile picture. My own logo. You guys know my logo? The Don Quixote Doflamingo logo? This looks like me, dude. I look like Dragon. Yo, just like Dragon never... Yo, just like how Dragon never attacks people, Dragon never fights, we never post videos. That's sick. That is sick. The AI is glazing you, bro. Create a evil or create a thumbnail of evil in Mr. Beast mode. Oh, hell no. New meme material. Yo, King J, you got to send that over to L, the king of memes, the meme king. He never talks in VC, but I never pick up on it. Tiante never talks in VC. Is that what you're saying? Are you saying that you... Mo, I'm just asking, right? Because you said it. Are you saying that you spent like 3-4 years in a Discord server with Tiante every single day and he never used a mic despite having a whole bunch of money, bros? I want to make sure that I'm understanding you correctly. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I don't want to start drama. I just want to make sure I'm understanding you correctly. Does that sound right? One more in DMs. All right, let's check it. Yo, this is me in the is there a name for like that type of anime or that manga of like the dorky guy? Actually, it's not that dorky because of the beard. Yo, I look cool as a manga character. Yo, I look sick. Yo, guys, who would you ship me with? Would you ship me with Dawn? You got to make Dawn of Ascension. Let me... No, actually, bro, hell no. I'm not sending you a picture of Dawn of Ascension. Actually, if you sent Dawn of Ascension to AI to make her like a One Piece character, it would literally just spit out Robin. It would just spit out Robin. I think Robin was based off of Dawn of Ascension. Bro made it on the same page as Nami. Bro really made it. Yes. Mo said yes, by the way, guys. The first time I hear from Eddie, he never speaks in VC. I already knew that's so weird. And for years, men are actually so innocent. Please do it in Batman mode. I need a Tiante pick. What? Pause. Tiante is the man with the burn scar. Yo, Tiante is Emu, man. That's the new Emu. It's like the big mystery. Actually, no, you're right. The man with the burn scar makes more sense because we know what Emu actually looks like. We don't know what the burn scar man looks like. Dawn and Eddie are actually real ones. Thanks, bro. You're the realest. You're the realest one I know. All right, chat. We're gonna be wrapping up in a few minutes, okay? Don't worry, we'll be live again soon, okay? I know you guys are dying for another stream. Guys, next stream, we're going to open up the open mics, okay? We're going to do open mic stream next stream. Stream. Fing. Tiante got the sock puppet fruit, bro. More like the Bon. Yo, he has Bon Clay's fruit. What do you mean? I remember where Eddie was hiding his relationship. Yeah, man, I don't want to. Dude, putting like your personal info online is like the worst thing. You got to be careful with that, man. Some people online are so weird. They're so creepy. If you run into the wrong people, they'll show up to your house. They'll start messaging your friends, messaging your loved ones. Dude, there's weird people online, man. And you never know. Some of them are in the One Piece community. Just be obsessed with gay black man. Brutal. Oof. Stream number 340 of Edberg and King J glazing each other. We know who Emu is, and we don't know who is that man with the burn scar. Mind-blowing. You're right. In reality, it's you who's opening up. True. The Eddie glow-up is real? Nah, your glow-up is real, Eric. Your glow-up is to be seen and loved and cherished. You have the greatest glow-up I've ever seen. Is this real? No, it's fake. Yo, I love how people still do that in the Big 26. Yo, we're in the Big 26, and people are still asking if the spoilers on the screen, the spoilers on the stream are real. It literally says all confirmed spoilers so far. You could literally go search for the spoilers. Like, people have been doing this the past 3-4 years now, man. I'm new to this community. All right, I forgive you, man. I forgive you. Don't be a bozo next time. I remember when you were obsessed with your rap, Playboy Cardi and all that. Bro used to start streams smoking and bumping opium music. Opium Evil was different. Wingway passed the vibe check since day one. I think you meant to say. Always told Eddie he the realest one. Also, Mo. Yeah, Eli as well. Eli, Jabril. Okay, so Eli, Jabril, Mo, L, Smokey, King J. Who else? Those are the realest. I guess the last island is more important than Emu. Nah, it's not more important. Tiante talking to himself on Twitter had me on the ground rolling with all 3 of his alt accounts. Yeah, chat. Apparently this guy, Tiante, dude, this guy Tiante had an alternate account pretending to be a whole different person. He would go under his own tweets on an alternate account. You so handsome, bro. Oh, I can't keep my girl around you. under his own tweets. Like, there has to be, and I don't mean this in an offensive way. Like, genuinely, like all jokes aside, I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not egotistical. I hope I'm not. I'm just going to be honest. I think if you do things like that, you got some type of like insecurity issue. Maybe he does. Guys, genuinely, I'm not trying to. I'm not better than everyone. I'm not better than anyone. I'm flawed. I'm ugly. I'm kind of dumb. I'm a flawed person. But if you have you have 3 different identities trying to be 3 different people who you are not, and then you're gassing yourself up, like, that's just, bro, there's some kind of mental issue going on, bro. There's some kind of like insecurity. New PFP, yo, why is that so fire? Yo, guys, should we make this the new profile picture? Do we make this the new profile pic? Yo, I'm looking like Dragon, bro. I'm looking like Dragon. I know I got the craziest Logia. I know I have the craziest Logia. Look at this. Catfishing. Okay, bro, I recently caught up with the manga, so this is my first time waiting for a chapter. Yo, Pavani, congrats. Yo, guys, can we get a Wavani in chat? Oh, he's just a little baby. Remember when you first caught up with One Piece? Remember? Chat, you guys remember when you first caught up with One Piece and you were, for the first time, you were waiting for a chapter? Oh, man. Wavani, bro. Sometimes I wish I was like you, man. I remember when I first caught up. Man. That was many moons ago. Welcome. You now just, Pavani, you just entered a new way of living. You've entered a new life. Once you start reading One Piece spoilers on a weekly basis, everything's changing. There's life before reading One Piece spoilers, and there's life after reading One Piece spoilers. Get ready for an experience, Pavani. Every week, you're going to be seeing fake spoilers. You're going to be seeing real spoilers. You're going to be seeing debating all week long. You're going to see leakers holding back info. Some leakers don't want to post the spoilers. Get ready for this culture, dude. I remember watching Eddie's videos in sophomore year in high school. Now I'm a junior in college. Yeah, insane. Look at my boy Mo. All grown up. Mo's all grown up, man. Yo, chat, I'm uncle stage now. You guys might have to start call. Why can't I speak English? I might have to be called uncle. Getting old, chat. It's true that Dawn makes a valid point. Or you dated Otohime Tenshi. I never, bro. We're not doing this. No. I don't know what you guys are talking about. It was never like that. Chat, okay? Stop with the agenda, guys. I'm only friends with people. I'm a married man right now. I have no interest in other women. My hobbies include One Piece, Factorio, philosophy, and that's about it. I'm not interested in other women. I don't care about past women. I was mainly just friends with women anyways. We're going to leave it at that, all right? You guys are not weird people, so you guys are not going to say things like that. You guys aren't going to drag me into some weird beef, okay? Bro, okay, I'm not even going to highlight that message. We're ending the stream here, bro. I'm not even going to highlight what the hell I just read. You know who you are. I'm not even going to put that message on the screen. With that being said, chat, without further ado, we're going to be wrapping up here. Chat, I love you guys greatly. You guys are awesome, amazing, brilliant, intelligent, hilarious people. God bless each and every one of you. Have a wonderful, amazing, morning, day, or night, wherever you guys are. Take care. You guys are great. We're going to be live again when we have more spoilers, maybe the long summary. We're definitely going to be live for the chapter reaction, all that good stuff. I love you guys greatly. Take care, everybody. Stay strong, stay healthy, pray to God, build your relationship with God, get exercise, healthy food, enjoy life, read books, learn, grow in every type of way, enjoy life, be happy. Love you guys greatly. Take care, everybody. Also, self-sacrifice is important. Peace.